morning, everybody, whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world. This is Coast to Coast. Got Cam in the house. Billy is, not too beat up today. So how's it going, gentlemen?
Hey, man, how's it going?
I'm doing pretty well, other than the fact that that was about the most boring game that could be. I mean, the National League broke a lot of records, getting struck out like 14 times and
Right.
almost getting no hit in an All-Star game. And,
Yep.
And you would have never have thought that, being the fact that the National League has really dominated the American League this year.
Yeah.
I guess that just goes to show you that these games don't really mean much.
Well, or it means that every good AL player was in this game. and the rest of the teams really not that great.
That could very well be.
And of course, I'm saying this as a fan of a team in the AL, so calm down, people.
I will tell you this, though. I mean, so anybody who watched a little bit of my feed on Instagram or Facebook yesterday saw that I was on the red carpet and I was dressed to the nines. I actually had a nice white linen suit on and whatever. And I will tell you that Randy was probably the one who matched me closest in terms of well-dressed. Right? He was also in a white suit. And I even got to yell to him, like, I tell you, Randy, that's looking sharp. Obviously, we got the memo.
White did seem like a bold move being painted. Seems like that would be an easy way to ruin a suit.
I will tell you that I myself, even as hot as it was very surprised at how well preserved that white suit remained. It was 96 degrees. It was really.
What was the humidity like out there?
Probably somewhere in the 85 to 90%. I mean, it was sticky. It was messy. I had a fan with me and I was using the fan and the fan conked out probably an hour in. So it was like
did you get that?
I had about another 45 minutes. No, it was actually just ran out of battery because it's like it was a little air conditioning fan. So it has that coil, but it was killing the battery. So it ran out. I probably with about 45 minutes left to go. And you know what? It was what it was. The paint held up really well. And so I was super surprised when I got back home and I saw, I'm like, listen, I wear anything white and I am a mess. I get something on it. I'll wipe my hands off a certain way or whatever, like on nothing. It was very pristine. I was super impressed with myself. I'm like, look at me growing up, being a boy.
Adulting like a champ, sort of.
Kind of.
And of course, you got a picture request. So if you're going to be at that game.
Absolutely. What's next Saturday? I should be there.
What's up, Brad? And we will get to the World Cup, but we got to get through the baseball action first. And it's funny because this is one that I never really thought about until people started losing their minds about it. Is he a lefty or a righty? Now, originally I was thinking he's a righty. You're looking at his back. That's his hand over his shoulder. But then when you think of the MLB logo getting made in 68, if it was going to be modeled after maybe a player in 67, it would have been Lou Gehrig. He was a lefty. So
what do you think, Cam?
I think we're looking at the player's back. I think
That's
we're
what I
looking,
thought originally too.
yeah, I think we're looking at the player back. I mean that the way his right. This is how you hold the ball, the bat, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
what's
so it'd be the
awkward,
top of your hand
but,
and your thumb, right?
but yeah, but what's awkward in this is why I think we're looking at the back, because if you're looking at my back, that right hand's on the right hand's on top. But this way, it looks kind of hokey, and that's why I think it's a lefty that we're looking at the back of the lefty, because the left hand's on top. So
Well,
I don't know.
you'd be looking at the back of a righty.
No, so I actually look at it. I kind of agree with Cam here. It looks to me like it's a left-handed batter, and the silhouette is inversed.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
I got you.
That's what I agree.
You.
That's what I agree. But why would they inverse it at that in the 60s?
Exactly. No,
that's the only thing that throws me.
That's why, originally I was thinking a righty, and then because Lou Gehrig is was the best player in '67, logo comes out in '68. I was like, well, if they kind of modeled it after him, that is sort of his approach on a swing. Then it would be a lefty, right? So,
but I think the ball is too close for that to actually be a swing, though. But
he's. I mean, if he's swinging, it's a strike.
Yeah, right, right.
Well, actually,
Right.
and if you look at I know that the ball's close there, obviously, but back then that would have been a strike.
It's at his chest level.
lessened it.
It's at his chest level.
Well,
Yeah.
no, it's at his elbow level, which is really where they determined, because it was like when you would back and get into the swing and you get that right there, that your elbow was right about like breast level.
Yeah, you're
Like so, and that's where they would put it. So that's where they would determine the top part of the strike zone. Now that's so changed, obviously, because now you have literally almost from your belly button to your knees is really the strike zone.
So immediately I watched 0% of the All-Star game and 0% of the home run derby.
Well, how was there scoring that?
No, I didn't make a comment on either way. I didn't say either way. I didn't watch it, so I can't comment. But my question was, do they have to go to the video replay in the All-Star game, or did they go to the ABS in the All-Star game?
They did.
I'm sorry.
So interestingly enough, Harper actually said, "Yeah, I know that's a strike, but I'm gonna check it anyways."
He was mic'd up. He was mic'd up when he said it.
They had microphones everywhere, so when I watched the video, you could hear him say it, but he wasn't mic'd up.
Okay.
And
that was interesting.
Yeah, and it was a bad call. I'm like, why would you have done that? That's obviously very much in the strike zone. And he said, and then I heard he say as much. I'm like, oh, okay, he just wanted to spend extra time up there, I guess.
No, Bo, I asked that because having covered the Major League All-Star game, it is extremely boring inside the stadium.
Okay.
Not only the All-Star game, but the home run derby. My goodness, I think I fell asleep during the home run derby. It was at Dodger Stadium.
Well, it makes sense.
At the stadium, it's extremely made for TV event, as with the NBA All-Star game as well.
They did it differently this year. So they gave the batters for the first round, it was 20 swings, and it wasn't timed, which made for I think when it was timed, they were rushed.
Yeah.
And
I agree with that.
You had guys that would get no home runs.
Sure.
They were hitting bombs. I mean, there was like nothing that was measured at 500 feet, but there was like a few that hit 490, 487. And when you see a 487-foot home run, like a few of them, I mean, they look like bombs. You know, there
So
was.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. No, so my question again, I did not watch the event, guys. So take it for what it's worth. But I'm asking, would you rather have more home runs, like a score of somebody hit 21, 25 home runs, or versus with the Walker finish with he had 6 consecutive home runs to come back and win the event? Would you rather see more home runs or less home runs as it appears that was last night?
So I liked this format better than the timed. Now you can end up with more with the timed, right? Because then there was also the extra time afterward and all of that.
Yeah.
But it puts anybody with a slower setup at a disadvantage, right? So if you have somebody that they just have a particular way that they get into the box to swing, and if it's a little bit longer setup, then you know you're not going to win that event if it's timed,
Sure.
right? Versus somebody that has a quick, you know, get in the box and just swing it around. So I liked that it added a little more balance to it. Plus, you didn't have to worry about a bad pitch, right? Like we watched in the timed events where somebody got like 5 bad pitches in a row. Well, that eats a lot of time,
Sure.
right? And so that's not necessarily on the batter not being able to get the ball out of the park, that you just didn't have a hittable ball. So I liked this format a little bit better. But to your point, I can see how it would be a little bit boring in the building because there are so many commercial breaks and all of those things. Yeah.
There's a lot of downtime. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Those types of things are definitely made for TV.
Well, they did. I feel like they did a lot better at that this year than in previous years. It was a little bit better for the people being there. Now, that was my first home run derby. So my
understanding, kudos to you guys, but it's my understanding that the Philly fans made the event as much as the players made the event. Again, I didn't see it. I'm just going from speculation and voices that I've heard. That their fans' interaction made the event more better than it might have been. They assisted they assisted in that.
We heard. I heard the same thing. Obviously, we were partial to the Philadelphia players, and the fact that Schwarber barely made it into the second round, and then he won his round in the semifinal, and then went into the final, and then the guy hit 7 home runs in a row to win.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you
that ruined everybody's night. Apparently, that ruined.
You know what though?
Philadelphia's night.
We were booing until he did it, until he won, and then we cheered him. Because we saw the fact that he just hit 7 home runs in a row, and I'll tell you, they throw that. It's a pink and white ball.
Mm-hmm.
T-Mobile has the last ball, and if you hit that ball out, you get another pitch, and all night long, they were not able to see that ball well. Like it wasn't like there was maybe I think 1 home run that went out on a pink ball. Everything else was like a pop-up, and in some cases just a really bad pop-up. Like it was like foul balls and stuff like that. So for him to hit 6 home runs with that pink and white ball was actually a feat. You know what I mean? And to hit 7 in total, to come back and win that event, even against Schwarber. I mean, I didn't care. You know what I mean? I'm like, I could care less whether he.
No, I don't know what you mean. I do not know what you mean. No, as a Philly fan, no, I don't know.
Well, no, because I don't care about. Hey, listen. Hey, that's a personal accolade. I want him to lift the World Series trophy at the end of the season. Okay. So that's what I give the most care about. The fact that he lost, I'm happy that he was in the finals. It was an amazing effort to beat him, which made it more fun as well. And, but short of that, it was just like, the fact that he lost, I wasn't as upset about it. There were more people that were definitely felt differently. They're like, oh, it would have been great if Schwarber won that. And I tell you, I felt like that if he won that that takes away. Now I want him to win the world. I want to see him and Harper lift the World Series trophy. That's what I want to see happen at the end of this season. This has been such a great year for Philadelphia sports up to this point with everything that's been going on. It would be a much better culmination with a parade than to see him just win this trophy and then get knocked out in the first or second round of the playoffs.
I mean, any season that ends in a parade is pretty great, right?
Of course.
So,
coming from experience on somebody who just had a parade.
Yep.
But so yeah, I wasn't as and of course getting hit in the nose.
No, I don't have the footage, but that would have been funny.
You can go onto my Instagram.
Wait.
And you go look in the stories.
Wait, you were at the home run. You were at the home run derby, and got hit in the nose with the home run ball.
I will. I'll see if I can pull it up and share it on. You won't be able to hear anything from it, but
no, is that what happened though? You were at the...
So a ball gets hit my way, and I've got a beat on it, and I will tell you that I feel that the only time a grown man can bring a glove to a ballpark is for a home run derby.
Well, that's what I was trying to get at. I was wondering if you had a glove,
or if you have kids. If you have kids, you can do it too.
Well, yeah, if you have kids, it's a whole different scenario, obviously, but it's.
So you had a glove at the home run derby, and the ball comes right to you.
Since you didn't see it, they gave a bunch of rows these Geico gloves. They had to have been this big. Like,
yeah, they were ridiculously.
They were like 2 feet tall.
Okay.
And so as the ball's coming, everybody now starts to crowd around, but I literally get at the last second get pushed by somebody. And in the process of that, like I kind of buckle and I get hit in the nose with the ball. And I'm trying to get onto Instagram now to maybe be able to kind of show.
So your fellow Philly fan threw you off course and allowed the ball to whack you in the nose.
I mean, there's fans from every team there. Like, it may not have been a Philly fan.
Well,
but it might have been.
I don't know. I don't know. Those Philadelphia fans are pretty territorial. I don't know. I don't know if a lot of people is going.
So that was the guy who was next to me who did this. Here's the play right there. And that's me very frustrated after I just got hit in the nose. I'll show it again. Here comes the ball. Bam. You see how everybody's like hanging over top of me. I literally push him away. I'm like, what just happened there?
Probably.
I'm like, I'm very angry because I just got hit in the nose with the ball. And I think I have back in here a little bit further back. There's the
Cowboys fan.
There's the ball. He was a New York Mets fan.
I got you.
There you go.
Had the paint spray. I like it.
So
right on.
Yeah, that's
good deal.
So
good
there.
Deal. Look like fun.
It was a good time. After it took me a second. When you get hit in the face with the ball, you have a level of frustration that
you break character a little bit.
I was hot. I'm like, what? Like this guy just literally, like, he like crashed into me. Like, it's like, yo, dude, Like it doesn't have to be so ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like it was just whatever. But
Plus, you're probably going to get another chance. It's the home run derby.
yeah, well, there was no other chance. That was the one closest to us. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. And before we move on from baseball, here we go. Who wins all time home run derby? And we're going to go with everyone in their prime and juiced up Bonds and McGuire.
Interestingly enough, I would actually remove Stanton from that list and put Sammy Sosa.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
In that mix.
Yeah. Get all the juiced up guys in there.
And I'll tell you, I think that it would be a shootout between Ken Griffey Jr. And Barry Bonds.
I think Shohei beats them all.
Shohei's got I think Bonds probably wins.
Does Bonds ever make the Hall of Fame, guys?
I mean,
I tell you, this is one of these conversations here that I will go a very Cam route in having a conversation about. I am not a fan of the Baseball Hall of Fame. It is the Hall of Somewhat Good, and I feel that it is a travesty that Barry Bonds is not in the Hall of Fame, or Mark McGwire, or Sammy Sosa. All of those guys, I don't care what they've done. They were part of baseball during a time when baseball chose to hold the blind eye to it. And I feel that they saved the game at a time when it absolutely needs saving, because everybody else who was part of baseball was screwing it up and just blowing it at, and in the processes, I understand why they didn't have Pete Rose in there. And I know that they're going to have Pete Rose in there posthumously. The fact that they have done a whole group of guys and said, nope, we're not going to vote you in. And these writers who think that they are, who've never done anything wrong in their life, who have never also played the game, I feel like, in any capacity, are the ones that are in control of whether these guys get considered the best of all time, because that's what happens when you are in the Hall of Fame. And some of the players that they've put in there, listen, I know that Scott Rowland played for the Phillies. Is he a Hall of Famer? No chance. No chance. He wasn't even the best. He wasn't even the third best third baseman when he was in the league. Whether he played for the Phillies or whether he played for St. Louis. The fact that Barry Bonds isn't in there, Mark McGwire's not in there, Sammy Sosa's not in there, Roger Clemens is not in there. The fact that they have chosen to we're going to hold this moral clause for this. That just tells me how much of a travesty the Hall of Fame is for baseball.
Yeah, well, and
it's always been
miss
that way, though. It's always been that way.
And they miss on guys that weren't juiced up. I mean, guys like John Olerud, who was like an 11-time Gold Glove winner and great batting average. He's not in there. You got Sheffield isn't in there mostly because he was a jerk. But his numbers say he should have been. But when
was Paul Molitor in?
I don't know offhand.
I'm not sure either. But he's another one that I feel like should be in. That guys, they don't hit this 70% threshold, and it's writers who have. Oh, well, this guy was mean to me once, so I'm going to cry in my coffee and never give him a vote. Get out of here. Get off of this. Like I won't go see that Hall of Fame because I feel that it's ridiculous It's a travesty. And until they start to, and I don't want to see asterisks. I don't care that they were juiced up. They
How else would you
were
put Barry Bonds? Barry Bonds can't go into the Hall of Fame without an asterisk. Now, come on.
I mean,
why? Why would you say that though? I mean, listen, I understand.
The pitchers were also juiced. Like
everybody was juiced.
Yeah.
Everybody was juiced. You had no choice. It was part of what was going on. Like and literally, I remember clear as day. I went to the first game of the Cardinals against the Phillies, and I said that Mark McGwire was going to hit me a home run. It's funny that I still, because I have the newspaper still, and he hit 3 home runs that day. It was me and 2 friends in the outfield, and he literally hit the home run so far. I went back to track it because I actually knew how to play ball at the time. It hit off of the concrete banister and hit in my seat. Somebody took a picture because the 2 people that I were with was sitting right next, and they got all scared because that ball came was like it was, and me going because he literally hit me the ball and I wasn't there at my seat because I went back to track it, and literally. That ball skidded all the way across back over the field. He hit 3 home runs that day. The newspaper said Godzilla 3 because that was when it all happened. And that started me saving the newspapers of him hitting, like you knew he was going to break the 61 record at that point.
Yeah. You
knew it. And this was in like late April, early May when he played in Philadelphia. And this is during a time, it's like the 90s, you know what I mean? Like they just had that strike, that ridiculous strike in 94, where they stopped baseball. It was a lockout. It was like, all right, the Phillies had just gone to the World Series. We lost it to a home run in 93. And then 94, in the middle of the season, it gets shut off. And then it takes a year to get back out there. They finally get back out there, and it's literally a thing between Sosa and McGwire that it was must-see television. They were stopping regularly scheduled broadcasting to show the at-bats of these guys.
No, it was an amazing era, especially coming off of the strike, right? Like you were. Especially when you think of McGwire, I mean, it was obvious he was doing something, right? Because when you saw him with the A's, like he was good. He was like a 30-something home run guy, him and Canseco. But then when you saw him later, his arms all of a sudden are tree trunks, and you're like, okay, like
he was big. Yeah, but
even at that time, though,
he was good.
There was not enough information about the steroids and the way that the steroids were doing things. It was like, okay, hey, they knew in football, Lyle Alzado tried to come back doing steroids, and they watched how it destroyed him, and he was the one. But that happened in 1994. That happened during that strike season. And then
what happened during that strike season?
Lyle Alzado tried to come back and play for the Raiders and started doing steroids. And
he didn't start doing steroids on the comeback. But
no, yeah, I'm sure he was doing them for a while. But he was. His body started to deteriorate in those next couple of years. He tried to make a comeback. He didn't get back. And then by 97, he was super frail. Like, if you remember, it was very.
Do you guys remember seeing him on David Letterman? That's when I first saw Lyle Alzado on David Letterman. And he was talking about his career and his choice to use steroids. And he was about my size then on David Letterman. And I was like, okay, I will never take a steroid in my life if that's what's going to happen to you.
Right. Yeah, and like that, but it wasn't until him that they started to see some of the after effects of what the steroids were doing. But in the meantime, baseball absolutely needed that for that time. And then Barry Bonds spends the money and gets scientific with it. And they start doing the cream and the clear. If you remember, that
was after Mark McGwire, though. That was
much after. It was much after Mark McGwire.
They saw the creatine in his locker and they start asking him about that. And then Mark he wasn't hiding the creatine that he was using, and it wasn't at the time. It wasn't a banned product, but we soon learned kind of the effects of creatine.
I'll never forget in Philadelphia, they asked Lenny Dykstra straight out. He goes, "Hey, what is it that you guys are doing that's making the Phillies so good this year?" And he says right to the camera, "Great vitamins."
Is that yeah?
He said,
"I can see that. I can see that. I can see old Dykstra saying that exactly.
Nails saying that right to the camera.
I can see it. And but did he hold it up the can that he was using?
He didn't do that. But I mean, that's kind of what I'm getting at, though. It was in everybody's face. This is what's going on, and you didn't. Bo's dying over there. So,
dude, it is killing me. Like I don't know what is going on.
Wow. Open up a window, man.
But I mean,
absolutely attacked my nose.
it was something that was absolutely necessary to save the sport.
Yeah.
And for the writers to all of a sudden
help me out. Modest. I grew up in Seattle. I don't know how Bo's a baseball fan. I grew up in Seattle. The Mariners stunk for most of my life, so it was nothing. It did not value me to watch the Mariners game because they stunk. I was watching the Visitors, if anything else. So you're saying that baseball formulated this steroid era? Is that what I'm hearing you say?
No. Guys were looking for an advantage. But it came at a good time because viewership was it was awful. And then you started having, Sosa and McGwire ripping the cover off the ball, especially McGwire. I mean,
that was 98. That was 98. That was a single season. Like it wasn't like 96, 97 led up to 98. I don't remember it being like that. I remember like 98 being a tremendous outlier.
They were still hitting a lot of home runs.
Yeah.
Well, Mark has always hit home runs, and that's why.
Yeah, Mark. I remember going like 48, and then he hit the 50 mark, and then he hit 60. Then I remember him hitting 62. I remember sitting there watching it. We were watching it every day. He hit it against the Cubs, where it was like him. They had this whole little shaking hands thing with Sammy Sosa afterwards and stuff like that. It was. It was, like I said, they stopped regular programming to show this. Like on ABC, they would stop whatever television show you were watching to watch Mark McGwire's at bat.
Yeah.
It was that type of must-see television. At least that's how the country looked at it. I mean, ESPN was in its infancy back then. I mean, it just kind of started off.
It was not in its infancy. ESPN started in 1981.
I understand that, but ESPN still wasn't in if just got into every household. That cable now was starting to become a bigger thing. It was still in most of the country. You didn't have ESPN unless you were more affluent. And then it became more mainstream.
I mean, that's still true. It's not on your basic channels. You still have to have cable for ESPN.
Oh, of course.
You don't have to have cable, but
right, you can stream it now. But it's what I'm saying is that during those times, baseball. The moment they got on strike, and it's the multimillionaires versus millionaires. Like it was maligned. And listen,
We're going to see it again.
It's now except it's billionaires versus millionaires.
Exactly.
And you're going. This one may kill baseball. I mean, it may really destroy it. But I will tell you that it showed that the home run was still one of the biggest things in sports. Like it was still that feeling that you got when you watched a home run, whether it was for your team or against your team, was such a feeling that brought that sport back. Mm-hmm. And where Barry Bonds,
especially McGwire, because every time he hit one, it was to a different area code. Like those things were so long.
Right. And Barry Bonds, unfortunately, he didn't have somebody else who was going back and forth. I mean, it was Sammy Sosa versus Mark McGwire. It was, I mean, you could say that there was a black and white thing going on there. There was, but it was baseball. You know what I mean? And it was, hey, he's hitting home runs. He's hitting home runs. And that's what baseball was for a couple of years. And then Barry Bonds kind of took over because he got scientific with that, with those drugs, like with the steroids.
And you think so? You think Barry, Mark McGwire, and Sammy Sosa belong in the Hall of Fame?
I do. All three
of them. With no asterisk.
No asterisk. Yeah, listen, you could tell the story. I'll be honest with you. I feel like everybody who's in the Hall of Fame, who gets into a Hall of Fame, if you are worthy of being in the Hall of Fame, you don't get an asterisk. You're there because you're there. You tell the story. You could tell the story however you want to tell it, but nobody gets an asterisk if you're in the Hall of Fame. That's just how I feel. Of Fame,
so is it? So they get the bust is in the. Yeah, they get the bus with their hat, right? And sure. on their description, does it say anything? Do you for McGwire, Sosa, and Bonds? Does it say anything? Does it reference?
No, I think it should. I think the plaque. I think the plaque should say their accomplishments, and then it should be like anything else. They have video screens that explain the story. Like when you go anywhere in the Hall of Fame, or at least most of the museums that I've gone to, that you have the busts and they have those plaques on the busts, but then they also have interactive screens that be able to tell you the story of some of these players and some of the things that happen. And you could tell during that story, this is some of the things that have occurred. These were some of the reasons why he was not brought into the Hall of Fame right away, and why he was held out for so long, because there was a certain feeling about some of the ways that he was able to achieve these statistics.
I don't think that should happen. I don't think if you're not going to say he was a major part of that steroids era, you don't say anything at all. Just put him in and leave the
you do. It's part of the video screen, right? Like, so once it gets to that chapter, you got Canseco behind McGwire.
I don't know. I think it's I don't know. If you're not going to reference it on the plaque in your video, I don't think you can go back and tell the additional add a chapter of the steroid era, in my opinion. Hold on.
Are the guys that are in there during the juiced ball era, does it have an asterisk that says, "Hey, the ball was juiced during this time"?
To your point, they're very good point. I don't think you could do that. I think that's totally unfair to that player to now single him out to say, okay, he did this, but yet we're going to pull him in the Hall of Fame, and then here, I mean, do you get the can of flaxseed oil that he had? I mean.
So here's my issue. Here's my issue with the steroid era is baseball being baseball is wildly inconsistent about it. So if you're not in there yet and they know, then you can't get in. But the guys that got in and then they realized they were doing it, they didn't pull them back out. So there's guys that were juiced up that are in the Hall of Fame. They just were already in, right?
Okay. Those
So
guys,
if you're gonna do it, be consistent about it. Like if it's gonna be no one that's juiced up can be, then remove the guys that were juiced that got in before you realized they were juiced up. Or
we know
they can all get in because you're talking about an era of baseball that was amazing. Like as a fan, it was great to watch.
I mean, and I'm not saying that he did, because I know that that's exactly where you would go. How do we know Nolan Ryan wasn't taking supplements that would have been considered banned? How do we know that those guys,
most of those players were taking greenies, right? What are greenies? Wasn't that an amphetamine to help?
100%. Black beauties and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it was
so you can say
Roger Maris in the story of Roger Maris that was done by Billy Crystal, left out all of the different things. He was a lot friendlier to Mickey Mantle, and he needed to be able to get himself back up for the next day because Mickey Mantle knew how to drink heavily. You know what I mean? So he always was doing the black beauties or something like that the next day. You know, it's just like baseball is littered with the guy who threw the perfect game and he was high on LSD. You know what I mean? Like there's so many different things. It's part of the game. It's what made it the national pastime. Let's talk about
that's a great story. Mets. That's a great story of Larson using throwing a perfect game on LSD. I've never been to the MLB Hall of Fame. I wonder in Cooperstown, does it say Larson threw the only no-hitter or the only perfect game in the World Series on LSD? Does it say that?
Probably not.
So right. So all of these other situations, it can't reference that.
That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at. Like if you can't,
you were saying earlier, it should say.
No. I said the plaque should have only their statistics, what got them there to the Hall of Fame. If you want to reference the steroid era, you have to do that in like one of the movie rooms. Like you can't do that with the bus.
I would. I'm fair with that. I'm being thumbs up for that. I don't think that the bus should have or their placard.
100%. No asterisk. No, none of that. I am firm.
Now,
I am in firm agreement of that.
MLB in the 90s, and then that could be part of that storyline. But for individuals,
how do we know that Babe Ruth wasn't the first one to figure out that there was this thing that creatine, that you could eat creatine and have the monster like strength that he had to be able to knock balls out of the park like that? We don't know that because we weren't paying attention to those things. It was as the media started to grow around these sports and the money started to come around these sports, these things became a lot more prevalent.
I don't think it was the media. I don't think it was the money. I think it was as you mentioned, as a media. Now there in the 70s or in the 80s, there might have been 3 sports writers around Mark McGwire's locker at the time. In the 90s, there probably was 7 or 8, and one of those 8 guys was like, "What's that? What's that vial up there for? What do you do with that?" And that's my understanding of how the whole thing started. Somebody just saw it and was like, I started asking him about it. And then one person asked him about it, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I use it when I work out." Oh, okay.
Right. Well, I mean, not now. I mean, for instance, last night at the 7th inning stretch, as we're singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," I am live on Japanese television. Japanese television. I was there with the girl singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" with the guy who was dressed like a, one of the militiamen, and and myself and a Japanese girl, and
we're sending help, Bo. We're sending help, Bo.
Man, this feels like a long hour, man. I don't know what it is, but wow.
So I'm sorry to dominate to this MLB talk, But the how are you guys enjoying the World Cup? Did Spain beat France yesterday?
Yep.
That surprised me. That surprised me. Now I've been trying to follow it. I've been really into these last 4 matches or the last matches leading up to the championship. Did you guys expect Spain to beat France yesterday?
Yeah.
I did.
You did.
I did actually.
I thought
now,
our boy was going to go off. I thought Mbappe. I thought they were setting it up for Mbappe.
what made me think that Spain was going to win was the fact that they had only let up 1 goal up to that point.
That's impressive. That's freaking impressive.
And that told me that they had the defense that could cover Mbappe. And if you watch France win their games and how they do it using Phil Jackson's system, the triangle system in soccer, because it's the 3 guys up at the top of the box. Yeah, the top of the box. Oh yeah, but you have to have guys that got to kick the ball into the net, and Mbappe is the perfect guy for that because he can get to different parts of the net and create the spin on the ball to make it go the way he needs it to go. That's over the top impressive.
How are you guys watching the World Cup?
How do you mean?
How are you watching it? Are you going to watching it at your house? Are you going to a watch party? How are you guys watching it?
Watching
it at home.
I have done both. I have done the watch parties and I've done it at home. I've done it at bars that are just like, peripheral. So I've done it in all those ways.
I mean, a lot of it's happened during other sporting events. So I'm kind of, I've been doing, a lot of dual screen action.
So I watched yesterday. I watched a lot of that game on YouTube on Fox Sports, but they keep going to the darn star camera angle where they're only showing Mbappe and they only showed Yamin Yamal. They only showed him, and half the time they're just kind of walking around the field, and you can't see. I equate this, and I'm sorry for this little tangent. I equate this to Red Zone channel, only showing the touchdowns, and you don't see the drive of the team scoring how they scored.
Sure.
When you only see like they were showing, and I hate this damn star cam. Because you only see the players, and so I see Yamal only get the ball when it's passed to him, and then he's running down and he kicks in the score. Like I just see that little 3 seconds. I don't see the play develop. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I didn't know if I was maybe the only person that had that thought.
No, I kind of agree with you that especially during these times, they want to focus on their superstars to feel like that they have to because. Not everybody's the Spain fan. Not everybody's a France fan. And to be able to keep the U.S.'s attention as a whole, that if you don't have any type of soccer background, you don't know what the play is going to be. So it's better for you to focus on the name that you know. And most of the people in the United States know Mbappe because he is one of the elite.
He's the highest paid dude. That's all I know. But
exactly.
It was just weird, man. I don't think that shows. It didn't show me anything. Like I see the guy walking around the court, walking around the field, and I can't see the context. Okay, the ball's way on the other side of the field. Now, just being a sports fan, I know that the ball's on the other side of the field. That's why he'd be walking. But I can't see that context. And it just was bothersome to me. I just was asking you guys how you observe.
Yeah, and it's frustrating, I guess, for Americans because we're so used to the cameras being tight to a football.
Yeah.
And you have to have the widescreen for a soccer game. Like you got to see, you got to look at it at almost an entire half of a field. You can't go in on the ball because the moment you go in on the ball, you can't see it. That's been the problem they've had with hockey. They're learning now that you have to show a lot more ice to be able to watch plays develop and be able to see what's happening away from where the focus is. when they've had the focus only on the puck, they've lost people because people don't know what's going on. Now you got to show the entire ice.
In hockey, I think they should have kept the blue streak.
Yeah, I was gonna say, remember the blue streak?
I like the blue streak. I like the blue streak. For me, a novice hockey fan, it was almost cool to see the streak when they hit the ball, to see that streak across the screen. But right. I thought in hockey that helped me keep who don't know the flow of the game. I know it better now, obviously, thanks to Bo, but who didn't know the flow of the game and couldn't follow the ball as easily, the puck as easily. I thought it helped me personally. But that lasted, one season? They got rid of that quickly.
They did, and it was because they could probably do it much better now. I think that was ahead of its time. You could probably, if they were to reinstitute that now with better CGI, I guess is what that comes out to be.
Just make the puck red. Just make the puck red or green or something like that. And
the blue works. It's just the
blue worked, and then because actually it would go red if it made it over 75 miles an hour. It actually went to red. The blue streak became red when they did that. So if you had 100-mile-per-hour slap shot from the point, it was a red streak, not a blue streak, which was even more fun. I was like, I like that, I think it was ahead of its time, and they were focused more on the puck than they were on the ice, and that's what made it more difficult. Now that you can get better cameras that focus on a bigger space.
Yeah.
Well, and
now you can understand.
They also don't have 2 cameras. Now they have like 10 of them. So,
right.
All of a sudden, you're getting some better vantage points. Also,
that helps. No, I just think that as a novice, I wouldn't even consider myself a novice soccer fan. Just as somebody watching the event, that star cam was driving me bananas. Like, I don't want to see this. Like, I was wanting to turn it off. It had me looking for other angles to actually watch.
See, that's where you want the all 22, right? So you could toggle through.
And find the portion of the game that makes sense to you to watch if you were trying to learn more about the game. The more interesting question is, has the World Cup being in the U.S. made you a fan of the sport?
Of soccer? I mean, for me, no. But
no,
it's a cool event.
I got another question.
Event, but I'm just not a big soccer guy.
So I would be interested to watch more of the World Cup in 4 more years. Yes, to your question. But I have a different question. With the World Cup being in America, in all these countries, in the fandom that all these countries have shown by coming to America, traveling to multiple cities, in a 6-week span, these guys are traveling. Have they shown? They clearly shown America out as far as the fan bases. Clearly, there's bigger fan bases than what we have here in America. But have they changed the fandom, the America's fandom, for the better? Like, I wonder. I'm interested in that. Is now when you go to an NFL game, will there be chants from fans, long-term fans at NFL games? Will there be chants? I doubt it. But
no, it's not like soccer isn't in the U.S. Like, the MLS is highly successful.
It is, Bo. But come on, let's stop with the MLS.
To your point, a little bit. I like in Philadelphia at an Eagles game, all game long, you're hearing Eagles chants. And it's home or away, you're hearing the EAGLES. Isn't
that after a touchdown? Isn't that after a touchdown or interception?
We sing the song after the touchdown. After every touchdown, it's boom, 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 fly, and we go through the whole thing, every touchdown. And I am the one leading it at the away stadiums because they're not playing it. I'm the one that's boom, 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 and then everybody kicks in on it. But every home touchdown, they do play that. Will it change it for other? It was like watching OKC. It was like watching the OKC, that fan group watching their basketball team. They watch it from their seats. Will it change the way that they watch sports to be able to cheer more for their team differently? I don't know that. What I am happy to have seen is that the people that have come here and actually experienced the United States and experienced America realize that it's not what you're hearing on television, that the government does not define the people of this country. And that is what I am super excited to have heard, that everybody, I won't say everybody, but most of the people, for the most part, that have come here have a whole different opinion and experience of the United States than they did before they got here. And which is, I'm proud of. I'm proud of that.
I'm agree 100% in agreement with you on that. But I mean, come on, the rowing that Switzerland, was it Switzerland or Norway? Who was
that was Norway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the rowing, like their interaction during the game, like that's some cool stuff. To your point, Bo, MLS. I just know the MLS. I haven't been to a Sounders game up here, but I started watching the MLS in LA, and I know 2 years before that team ever took the field, like their supporter groups had chants. They were singing chanting, like they were chanting 2 years, or started the group 2 years before their first.
Is that the game. Galaxy or LAFC?
No, the LAFC. The Galaxy,
Philadelphia. Before Philadelphia, I mean, Philadelphia is in its 15th season this year. Yeah. 18 years ago, they had the Sons of Ben that were doing everything they can to get a soccer team in Philadelphia.
Yeah, so that's cool. I just don't know how the World Cup being here in America is going to impact American fans.
I mean, Sounders games were already crazy. Like they got noisemakers and chants, and I mean, so here in Seattle, I don't know.
Does that come to the football though? Does that come to football? Does that come to the Mariners game? Does that come to basketball?
Already one of the loudest stadiums in football. Like, how much elevation do you think is going to happen? Like, you're already not sitting down for most of the game.
Does Seattle do any rowing, Bo? Does Seattle in unison?
Are they
doing any like dances or chanting in unison like that? That's my question.
That's
what I'm asking. Like, oh my goodness gracious! No, come on, Bo.
Yeah, but don't you guys have a 12 chant? Like, don't they do something in the very beginning of those games?
I mean, there's Seahawk chants all the time.
Seahawks,
exactly.
Seahawks. Yeah, I mean, I hear that all the time. And it's like I think that football has its own, and you may see it elevate now a little bit because of the way soccer fans are. But soccer fans make up songs on the fly. You know what I mean? I don't think that you're going to see that, because I think people are too scared to go out away from what has already existed. So you're not going to see a new Eagles fight song come out that somebody made up like they do in soccer. You know, soccer, they could be like, hey, we want our ball back, you know, with that one big beach ball went onto the field. and it's like, they're singing the song about getting their beach ball back. It's like, it's funny.
Yeah, you're probably not going to see that. But
I agree.
That being said, that does get us to the top of the hour, and we might have a show tomorrow. I might be dead. I don't know. If you're watching along, be sure to like and subscribe. And of course, if you are on 97.3 ICU Radio, we do have some smooth jazz headed your way. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow. Probably.
Have a good one, man. Thanks for tuning in.
Peace.